Today's practice tip of the week is all about safety, how to ground and shield. Now, a lot of people say ground and protection, but in seidr I would say ground and shield. The reason for this is because your shield is the thing that stops anything getting to you, something you will hold up, and it's something that will safeguard you, and it's easy to recognize in your mind's eye. So when you think about protection normally, what do you think about? But whereas if you think of shield, it's something that you can relate to. You can remember it in films and things like that, where the Vikings were holding their shields up, or the Romans, great big shields, and they are for protection. And this is something that all witches should do before doing anything magical, anything that they need to be more focused on, so their focus is only on one thing rather than everything that's going on around them. You know, it's a bit like in a daydream. If you're walking down the road and you're thinking of something, you don't notice what's going on around you, and it's the same sort of thing when we want to be doing our magic. We are very focused on what we're doing, and so we need a shield around us to protect us. The reason for that is because it's not that we're not taking in everything, it's the fact that we're opening doors, and when you open doors, you're opening it to anything out there. So I know a lot of witches that will do a circle around them, and there's nothing wrong in that. But really, guys, if you know how to protect yourself, if you know how to get your shield and your armour up, you should be fine. I mean, it's a bit like when it's raining outside. If you go outside with your summer clothes on, no umbrella and no coat, you're going to get soaked. Whereas if you go out with a coat on and an umbrella, when you get indoors, your hair will be dry and your clothes underneath will be dry. And so if you look at it in that way, it's always better to protect yourself rather than not. What I like to do, and this is one tip that I can give you, a lot of people and a lot of books will tell you you have to sit and you have to do this, that and the other, but really that's not feasible when you're walking around or you're doing everyday things. You haven't got time to be doing that. So the best thing you can do is to learn your Prada breaths, something that you can just flick into all of a sudden, and it's so easy to do, guys. All you've got to do is think, I want to slow my breathing down. Even though I'm doing things, I can slow my breathing down. And so you will take a breath in through your nose, because it's amazing how many people breathe through their mouths and they don't breathe properly. But if you're going to be doing protection work, even though you're busy doing something, you need to be able to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. Now, if you can slow your breaths down by going in through the nose and hold for 4, then out for 4 through the mouth, and doing that makes you then realize that you are focusing on your breaths, and you will find at first you're breathless because you're not used to that gap, because you breathe without thinking. But when you think about how to breathe, you'll find that you need to calm yourself down. So just take a moment. Doesn't matter if you're at work or wherever, people won't know. You just stop for a second, just get that breathing going. And once you've got your breathing going and it's slowed down, we then think about what is grounding. Grounding is the ground. You're standing on it. It keeps you earthbound. It stops you flying up into the air. Gravity. So we want to think about what comes out of the ground that holds things tightly. and that would be roots of the trees, roots of plants. We want to do this through our bodies to the earth. We want to become tree-like, but without being a tree. So when we're breathing in through the nose, I want you to visualize a lovely white shoot of a root coming out the bottom of your foot on both feet. And as you breathe out through the mouth, so it will grow. Breathing in through the nose, it will grow. And each time it grows, it will go into the earth. And you visualize it going into the earth, going deeper and deeper, and it sprouts more shoots, and that anchors you. But also, we're not just putting roots into the ground, we want the calmness of the earth. We will start to feel the energy of the earth come up through those roots into our feet and up into our bodies. With the breathing and the thoughts of the earth, we will then start to feel connected and safe. Okay, so we've done the grounding, guys. Now we want to think about how we're going to shield ourselves. So when we want to get a shield, we want to put a nice little golden light into the heart. So again, visualizing a gold spark in the heart. You can see, if it helps you guys, see it pulsate like a heartbeat. That will help you. You see this beautiful little gold speck of light, and it's doing this in your heart. And so as you're still breathing, it will get bigger and it will grow. Now you can visualize this as a golden shield if you want, or as a sphere of light around you. The more you breathe, the more you feel the beautiful calmness of the earth, and you feel stuck to the earth through the lovely roots that are holding you there. But the breathing doesn't stop, and the gold light will grow, and it will grow till it is around you, around whatever you want it to be around. So it could be that you're laying in bed, so you see it go around the bed, not just you. You could be at work. Maybe there's someone there that you don't get on with and you don't like their energy. So you can put that around you, stopping that getting in. Or if it's somebody with you, you want to also protect. You see the golden cloak or shield, whatever you want to call it, whatever you feel it is, what you personally feel drawn to. See that go over the person as well, and that is your protection, that is your shielding. But you can also add runes to it, guys. You can think algis in, or you could put urus for strength, or even tiwas for tyr. But if you're putting a rune in, draw it in your mind. You can see your own hand do it, or you can do it. You can do it while you're out. So if I was going to do algis, it's like that. If I was going to do tiwas, I would do that. And if I was going to do urus, I would do that. It's all at your fingertips. It's all within your practice. And you can do these things when you're feeling anxious as well, guys. It's amazing what a difference you will feel when you are not feeling anxious. And if you do your grounding and protection, you will feel less anxious as well. It's really cool. As a seidr practitioner, I use a staff. This is also very useful if you're going to be seeking protection. So instead of the shield, you can think of your staff. And a lot of people put symbols upon their staffs because they hold energies. And the ones that I've got on here are Theban script, which is slightly different. I've not got runes on here. which I've always thought about putting them on, but because of the Theban script, I didn't think that the energies would match. So I'm thinking I might do a new staff eventually. It is an extension of your will, like an athamia or a wand. It's just an added part of you, which has got a lot of energy in because you're using it all the time. You can put your staff down beside you and you can sense the roots coming up your staff from the earth, and as it goes around, you just see it as it comes to your mind. It could be winding its way around, or it could be going up the middle and going to come out the top here. And when it comes out, it will be like it's pulsating, and it will be pure white energy. And you just breathe it in through your mouth and your nose. So whatever orifice you want to breathe in, it will go in and it will enter you and surround you and be around you. It will be part of you, for whatever you do to the staff will happen to you. Spiritually, it then becomes your weapon and your protection and your guidance, because your staff, and you are the staff bearer, it walks before you, it guards you, it is your snake, it is your protection. So these are just some tips I'd like to give to you this week. I hope these help you. There are obviously the two ways of doing it, for the conventional witch and for the seidr practitioner. So take your pick, guys. Have a go at both. You might enjoy either of them or both of them. So until next time, I will see you soon. Wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Elaine.